Yes, hi. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Navdeep. I have worked very hard for the rank, so I'm going to continuously tell myself that I'm Wing Commander Navdeep, okay? So please bear with me. So I served in the Indian Air Force for 15 years. I retired in 2011. Are we good with the this thing? Yeah, we would request you put phones on the silent. And as you all are in the same group, so you know this is a webinar and a lot of people are attending online. So whatever is happening here is getting transmitted, right? So if you have to share something that you would not want to be transmitted all over the world, we can do it after we finish with the webinar recording, and right? Okay. So why are we here? Because we have little kids who are just being kids, okay? Abhishek, can you please put that song on? Can you put, we sent you a song on your mobile phones. So this is my hi to all of you who are watching the webinar, and I hope that you all are connected. Amol, everybody is connected, are we good? Okay, so we're going to start now. People on webinar, please post your questions, which Rashmi will take on the YouTube link. Yeah, we're going to take it on the YouTube link, and we'll try and answer as many of them as possible, right? Okay, so I want you to listen to this song that we sent. You guys can listen what Abhisha is going to play. And people sitting at home, please play what the link we sent you, please play that link, right? You all have the link in your phones, yeah? So you want to play that? Nobody has the link? You have the link? They're playing? Okay. I want you to close your eyes and listen to this. Okay. Now I want you to think of one song that is your favorite, and just play it in your mind. Your favorite song, rhyme, anything, anything. And people at home, please play your song that is your favorite song, okay? All right. Everybody could think of a song. You could play in your heads. Everybody could play one song in your head. When I hear this song, the feelings that I have, I'm sure none of you have that feeling. What is it that did you feel that you heard that song, when you heard that song? Was there any feelings that when you heard that song? Uniform, yes, yes, it's for people in, this is an Indian Air Force song. So it's it has a lot of memories when it comes to me. I have played it for umpteen number of award functions. I have played it every time we've had a fly past. I have played it every time we've had a new officer posted in, all kinds of. So it has a lot of memories when it comes to me. And the song that you have played in your head, say it is, give me an example. What song did you play in your head?
It was more of the baby songs which I'm listening to.
Yes! Tell me that one.
So it's not a song actually, it is when he sleeps, the music which it was just playing in my ears.
So that was the music that was playing. So I have no connection with that, right? Why are we saying this is, every single experience in our lives brings out feelings. So when I hear this song, I have this goosebumpy kind of a feeling, because it kind of brings up all kinds of memories in me. You must understand the difference between the feeling and knowledge. You've heard my song, you've heard your song. There are two very, very different, okay? I'm going to give you one exercise now that you're going to think, how old is your child? 2.5? 15 months? 18 months? 2 years? 16 months. Perfect. Okay. It is my endeavor today to help you experience your child's life for next 5 minutes. All right? So I want these many volunteers, 5 volunteers here. Any 5 people can come here. Okay. Any 5? Okay, come sit. Yeah. The fathers, they need to come. I'll get more blocks if required. Do we need more blocks? Yes, we need more blocks. Here you go. Okay, people sitting at home, please take out your blocks and do whatever I'm going to tell you to do now. Somebody, can you please time out for 1 minute? Okay? I want you to make something with this for 1 minute. For 1 minute, do whatever you wanted to do with it, and time starts now. Okay, everybody is done. People at home, have you done? Are you done? Okay. I want you all to take picture of whatever you have just clicked. Whatever you've just created, take a picture or remember it in your head what you made. Okay? All right. Yeah? Now I will tell you. Okay, time done. Okay? Your child is little. So developmentally, they are small. What does that mean? I want you to take your hands up like this. You can move this. You can move this and move this. Okay? But you can't move this. Okay? Now, dismantle whatever you have done. Close one eye. And now rebuild whatever you have built. No, you can't move, you can't do this action. Your child can't move the wrist. The child can't, your child has only this much motion. And so you have to do like this. Yeah. No, this is fine motor skills are not there. It's only gross. So, yeah, and one eye has to be closed because their hand-eye coordination is very bad. Time starts now. You can take 3 minutes to do it. No, this is wrong. You can just pick up stuff like this and put it like this. You can't do this movement. You can... But you have to keep your one eye closed. Keep one eye closed. Don't move your wrists. Your wrist is already moving. Keep your wrist straight. The best part is just keep your elbow straight. Go back, keep your elbow straight. Keep your elbow straight and just move your thumb, your finger, and these together. And don't move your wrist. Go at least the elbow length out and now make whatever you had made. And they don't have hand-eye coordination, so close your one eye. Close one eye. No, you're moving too much. You're moving too much. Yeah, so you need to. I don't know. So somebody come and. Yeah. The volunteers can come and close their eyes. Come and close their eyes. Okay. Yeah, now do it. No, you can't do that. This, yeah, go 1 month, piche jao.
Okay.
Keep your elbow straight. Keep your elbow straight.
Okay.
Now do it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're moving. You don't have fine motor skills. You only have gross. Keep them together. Keep them together. How much time is it? Forever? Okay.
2 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, how did you build? I'm sure you cheated.
No,
You didn't? Okay. Time over. Okay, I want each one of you to stand here and tell me what was the feeling.
We were struggling actually.
You were struggling? Yeah.
Previously it was easier. Now we were
It is difficult? Okay.
So obviously your vision is blocked and it is all the more difficult because you're just trying to struggle how many blocks are there, whether we are keeping it, like aligning it in a straight line or not. So it was not like before.
No, how was the feeling? What was building up inside you? If you had to do this for 3 hours.
I was getting irritated and I'm not able to do it.
You were getting irritated. Yeah.
I was confused first. So what to do, like how you were telling me you should have your hands stiff.
Yeah.
Figuring out that first and then using that, like I was confused in the
Too
start.
much work
Too
for.
much, yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. How?
I was feeling I don't know, very strange feeling of empathy and sympathy for the children. Like, I was not able to do it myself, and we tend to be irritated at times. They take a lot of time to do it. We think it's healthy हो जाना चाहिए. That was my.
Awesome. The workshop is over for you.
Yeah, I was irritated that I'm not able to do it.
You were irritated that you were not able
similar
to.
with the limitations that I had, so it was getting
Yeah.
too much for the simple structure getting.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was trying the same thing, like how I am supposed to put it the way I had it before,
Yeah. Yeah.
with no wrist movements, right?
With
Was
no wrist movement.
Impossible to do it, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. And with no hand-eye coordination. We've all done that exercise. You know, all of you take your arms in the front, take 2 fingers, close your eye, close one eye, and then join it. You know, out of 100 times, how many times can we do it? All right. Yeah? Now you get to learn the science. Thank you very much for volunteering. And people at home, I hope you've done this exercise. If not, could you please help me? We will just, we'll just take it little. Yeah, that's about it all. One thing that I would love all parents to remember, we are at least 21 years old. That means our brain development is almost over. our fine motor skills, gross motor skills, brain, muscles, everything is developed. We have enough experience to know how to put one thing on top of other, and yet were we successful? Were we struggling? We were struggling, right? Your child who is 16 months, your child who's 3 years, your child who's 6 years is just about beginning their journey on Mother Earth. That means they just about have begun something called prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is one part of the brain that tells children how to plan, what to do next, how will this affect my future. That means if I put one block on top of other, will it fall, will it not fall? They have no experience of that. They're just about learning. Experiences the child has to go through. With your full muscle ability, full brain, full adult experiences, you were irritated. What about that little one who's 16 months old? Is he not authorized to say, oh my God, I'm having a difficult time? Coming to the next part. When you have a very difficult time at work, you come back home, how do you express? How do you tell that I have had a difficult time? Supposing husband, wife, and a child, it's a nuclear family, we're staying together. You come home and you've had a difficult time. I want you to tell me, how do you express that? Okay, when I used to come back home after almost 17 hours of speaking and talking and doing all that, flying, guitar, and all, I would come back and tell everybody, don't talk. I don't want to listen a single word. Just give me a cup of coffee and everybody keep quiet. That was my way of recuperating. You know, what's your way of recuperating?
I find a lot of joy just hanging out with my kids. So if we pick her up on our way home,
Yeah.
it's like after going home.
No, I'm saying just in case you've had a very difficult time, how do you convey that?
I just zone out.
Zone out.
Zone out.
Yeah.
At that time, I don't want to interact with people.
Yeah.
Because it might just, it might just transfer over there and I might lose my head or something of that sort. So I just keep myself.
Yeah. Perfect.
Turn off the TV. I'm super tired. Listen to me. What is it?
Perfect. That's our way of same thing. Yeah. What about you guys?
So we usually talk to each other.
No, you're very tired and you've had a long day, so you tell him.
Yeah, and then I just want to crash, sleep.
And you tell him that, I've had a very difficult time. Your child is 16 months old. Do you expect her to come and say, I've had a very difficult time, Mom. Please give me a cup of coffee and don't talk to me. What are your expectations? From that little boy, little girl, 16 months old, how is she going to tell you that I've had a very difficult time doing what you just did? It irritated you as a person? Just imagine what it does to that little person who has absolutely no experience in this Mother Earth. That child does not know what is happening. At least you know you're tired. At least you know you're irritated. These feelings are coming up in their bodies and they have no clue what it is. And what do? Whichever way they know. We say, okay, you talk to each other because that's you have found that way of communicating. I just say cup of coffee. That's because my way of recuperating. What is that little person's way of recuperating? No? And this was hard work for you. What about that little person? And he was doing it for almost 2 hours, trying to put one on top of other. And we come with our agendas, telling them, oh, come on, fatafa, clear this and let's go. He's put 3 hours work to get that block on top of other, and all we are worried about is next food, next meal, oh, go, we have to go there, change. What about this little person? No? It is not his life. Only because he happened to be born in our house and God made me the parent, it means I have become the God? I am not. I am the environment protector for my child. I am not somebody who can tell what he or she should or should not become as a person. Right? When we tell them, okay, I'm telling you this, you all have worked sometimes at home, at office, and you've worked hard, supposing you've come back home and you're working, okay? There is this presentation that needs to be done or whatever it needs to be done, right? And you're working on that presentation, and suddenly somebody calls from there, come have food. And you're in the middle of the slide. What do?
Snap back.
Wait. Yeah, I'm coming. Okay, the food is getting cold. Can you please come? All right, I'm coming. Just give me 5 minutes. When the child is doing this, what do you expect him to say? Firstly, the child may not have heard you because I'm so deeply engrossed. It's a lot of developmentally appropriate work for that child. If he does not do this today, his fine motor skills will not develop. He's not going to become this high-functioning adult that we want him to become. Today, we want him to stop this and come and have food. After 6 years, you are going to tell me that, my child can't pick up a glass of water because his fingers are not working. We parent in the moment. That's not how it is supposed to be. How many years the child is going to live in our house before they finally move out? At least 17? At least 17? So why are my parenting tactics all limited to this moment, to next week only? Let's look at the bigger picture. If I'm going to yell at my child today, how is it going to happen for next 18 years? What am I trying to teach? What am I trying to achieve? So aim of the exercise when you are telling him, okay, I'll just tell you, I'm a child, I'm making this. Now you've all experienced how difficult this is for the little baby, right? I'm doing this. And the mother shouts from there, the food, come, clean your toys. And this person has just about managed to put this here. And the mother comes, all right, done, come, let's go. It's like putting that delete button on all your presentation. How does that feel? You have to start working all over again for that 3 hours that you've put on your presentation. And we didn't even take a moment to understand that the little baby must have worked on this for at least 30 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. We just went and put delete. And then the child, of course, cries. Will he not cry? He's not interested in that food that you've prepared. She wants to do this, what she's doing. How does the tantrum start? This is how it starts. I'm doing this, and the mother says, okay, come have the food, or whichever way you, if the child is little, you bring the food and you say, okay, finish this. And the child is very, very concentrated on this. As your children are growing up, you're going to be yelling from kitchen, believe me. That's what is going to happen as your children are growing. When you yell from the kitchen, first ones, the child does not hear. When you yell from the, okay, first I will say, you've just said, okay, the food is ready, come. Nothing happened. Then you say, food is ready. Nothing happens. And what happens next? All hell breaks loose, okay? I have been telling you for last 10 minutes. That's what is going to happen to all of you now that I'm telling you, that is what has happened for millions of years. This is how it is going to happen now. I've been asking you to come and you can't listen and you can't, and the lecture starts. Okay, tell me, all of you remember your mother's lecturing? I could verbatim say whatever she was about to say next. It is so regular, you know. And that's when, what happens when you are concentrating on something and there is a loud noise? If you're concentrating very hard on something and there is a very loud noise, what happens to you as a person? First reaction is startling. You know, you're startled. What happened? The moment you say, what happened? The moment you say, what happened, what happens? Your heart rate goes up. As a human being, God put something called amygdala in our brain. That's our survival part of the brain. That is why we are still alive. Why are we still alive? Because the amygdala, when I say this, I have learnt it from Dr. Dan Siegel, so he uses the hand model of the brain, so I generally use hand model of the brain. That is Dr. Dan Siegel's work, okay? So he says the moment you hear something that's so loud, your connection with logic breaks. And your amygdala starts saying, I am in danger, I'm in danger, I'm in danger. So when I'm in danger, what will I do? Human body will do three things: fight, flight, or freeze. Okay? Most of the time, when this happens, the kids cry, because that's their way of fighting. So he's not interested in making your life difficult. This person is trying to deal with whatever has just happened to him. He's only 16, 18, 3 years old, no? What does he know about survival? He does not know much about survival. So although we as adults know that we don't have to be in survival mode anymore, but kids don't know that. Kids don't know that. Kids continue to be in that survival mode. The moment he hears that bang or this voice which is so shrill, his amygdala starts saying, I am in danger, save yourself. And fight, flight, or freeze, three things will happen. And once these three things will happen, you will find little older kids who are 6 or 7 or 8 will answer back. When you come to 11, 12, they will just walk out and bang the door. That is their way of flight. They don't want to deal with this. As your kids are growing up, you will see these behaviors. They are natural behaviors. They are not trying to be difficult. Just remember this one thing. Anytime your child is throwing a tantrum, the child is having a very, very difficult time. It's got nothing to do with you. And you have to understand that your agenda must go down in priority as compared to making her or him feel comfortable and safe. Till the time your child feels safe, till the time your logic brain comes back in connection with amygdala and lower brainstem, you cannot have any kind of conversations. All right? That's why we must understand that the prefrontal cortex, every time you have this difficult situation, just tell yourself, prefrontal cortex is developing. Prefrontal cortex is developing. Okay? Every time your child is crying, my child is not giving me a hard time. My child is having a hard time. Tell me, why would a 16-month-old, 18-month-old, 6 years old, 7 years old want to make your life uncomfortable? Somewhere we learned that, our kids are bad. They want to behave bad. I would suggest just think that our kids are good. They want to be happy with us. They want to make us happy. They want a happy environment. It's something that is lacking that the person is behaving like this. There is a lacking skills concept that my child at this point in time does not have the skill to overcome the obstacle that has just come his way, so he is throwing a tantrum. And that's his way of saying, don't talk to me, please get me a cup of coffee. We just need to decode that. We just need to understand that part. Right? The tantrums happen only for 3 and only 3 reasons. Okay? The first and the foremost will be any time children are like scientists. They want to explore what happens when I do this. I don't know if you've reached that stage. The stage will come when your child will throw everything down. That is experimenting. What if I throw this down, what will happen? And you throw down, and then my mom comes running and she gives it to me. This is good fun. Okay, then, and I throw farther, she goes running farther. Oh, that is a good sight. And there, one fine day, somebody yells, oh, that was not a good experience, so probably I need to throw it back. You will see that whatever is happy experiences, okay, if I throw this side, she laughs. Okay, if I throw this side, she yells. Okay, don't throw this side. He's got no idea that it is about the throwing, not the direction. Okay, let me try. Till the time the child gets consistent results, they will continue to experiment. They will continue to see, okay, if I say no to this food, what happens? Okay, I just have to say no 3-4 times and it vanishes. Okay, let's see next what happens. And then we say that, okay, the child has become picky eater. Child is not picky eater. It's our practices that make them picky eater. Unless, of course, there are sensory issues that I'm talking about general people. Our practices make them. This is called learned behavior. We teach them to disobey us. We teach them to not eat. We teach them to yell. We teach them to cry. Because last time I howled in the mall, I got that toy. All I have to do is just howl. Okay, this time this much howling is not working, I just have to howl little more. Okay, now it is working. Next time all I have to do is howl little more. Every time, and now he's getting consistent results. Oh, this works. All I have to do is howl. And all I have to do is howl in the mall. Don't howl in the house because that doesn't give me the toy. Number one reason why tantrums happen is because they are experimenting. We need to set limits. If we say no, you cannot have this toy, then the child cannot have that toy whether you go to Mars or Pluto or to the next mall. It is the consistency in your parenting that is going to yield results. Okay, what if you went to you have to catch a flight and you go to airport, okay? One day they say, oh, no, today the Delhi flight is at 4 in the afternoon. You go there at 4 and they say, no, today it is at 7. And you're sitting there till 7. What if it happened every day? One day the flight is at 3, the next day it is evening 9, next day it is 2 in the morning. What does it tell you? How will you feel as a person who's packed everything and gone there? Lack of trust, total. Will you ever fly that airlines ever again? No? Then why are you doing that to your child? You change flight timings without notice. Today at 4 o'clock the child must sleep. The body rhythm has become like that. And suddenly my friend has come and I'm busy talking, the child's flight has gone. And then our child has a tantrum. Small kids need routines. Anytime your kids' routines are broken, it is definitely going to show up in your day-to-day life. If the child needs, even if your child is 6 months, talk to them. This is what I'm doing. Now I'm going to change your nappy. Now we are going to take a bath. Now we are going to do this. Next, what do I do? Okay, tomorrow we are going. It's just talking. The more you speak, your voice, the kindness, the empathy in your voice makes that connection. One and only thing if you have to learn from this workshop, and you cannot do anything else, just understand that connection is the only key to parenting. You have to have that bonding with the person. It's like our relationships. Why does some husband-wife relationships work and the others don't? Some have brilliant relationships, some have mediocre, some don't have at all. It's because of the connection that we as human beings feel. Right? The second reason why the tantrums happen is basic needs and developmental needs. The basic needs are roti, kapda and makan. That is a basic need by everybody who has studied. When the child is hungry, when the child is sleepy, when the child is ill, when the child is uncomfortable, you will have a tantrum. So first thing, when the child is whining, you must understand, is it hunger? Is he thirsty? Does she want change? Does she want to sleep? If you can just checklist this off, you have taken care of about 60% of tantrums. The next is developmental need. Developmental needs would be like, okay, the fine motor skills. At one point in time, your child would want to hold the spoon and eat it themselves, right? Do we allow them to eat? If we don't, what is going to happen? Now the child wants, this is the developmental need. God has created this machinery absolutely wonderfully. There are DNA sequences that just happen like clockwork. Now I want to hold the spoon and eat. My parents don't allow me to eat. Okay. It's easier to sit like this and open my mouth. And when it comes to 7 years, 8 years, they will not do their homeworks. Why will they not do their homeworks? Because developmentally, when they were ready to do something, you totally robbed them of that opportunity to do things for something. Must remember, if there is something that your child is trying to do, never do it for them. Never, ever do it for them. You are robbing them of being a good human being. You know? Now that there are studies, almost, these are called millennial kids who have come up, and unfortunately, and fortunately for us, we don't have to go through it to learn whatever other people in the world are learning, how bad that experience was. At one point in time in US, everything became industrialized, so much of money and everything, and the kids started being dependent on their parents so much. So what did they do? They fed them, they gave them screens, they didn't. And what's happening? End result after 25 years. They can't maintain relationships. They can't work. They cannot, for the love of life, take on any responsibility. Because when they wanted to carry their bag on their shoulders, when they were in LKG, UKG nursery, because I was in a hurry and I needed to reach somewhere, I just told them, okay, I will carry your bag, you just go upstairs. And what happened then? Okay, so my mother carries bag, somebody will carry my water bottle, somebody will make sure that, if my homework is left at home, somebody will come and give it to me. When did the child learn the consequences? If I don't eat today in the lunch, I must learn that I have become hungry. If I never understand what hunger is, how will I ever ask for food? And nobody dies within 6 hours of eating last meal. Huh? That much I can tell, especially people who are sitting here. Your child has had enough. They can last at least 3 days. Just give them milk and water and regular times food. Whatever they want to eat, they will eat. Rest is just fine. Believe me, you will never have a problem with food ever again. Whenever developmentally your child is ready, just look. What is she trying to do? What is he trying to do? Must allow that child to do. Never ever do something that your child is capable of doing yourself. Please, if there is one thing that you need to remember. Okay, whenever tantrums happen, the developmental needs are creative needs. Like they want to draw. You will find that your child will come to a stage where they will draw on the walls. It's not like they want to draw on the walls. Why don't they want to draw on floor? But why only walls? Why don't they want to draw on notebooks? Why don't they want to draw on any other place but walls? Have you ever thought? Because that shoulder movements, now they have to developmentally put their feet apart so much so that they can raise their hand and work that area. If I don't allow them to work that area, these movements will not happen. If they can't write on the walls, take them to park. Let them do that jungle gyms and whatever monkey crawls or whatever it is that they need to do. Every single thing that the child is doing, it's not a misbehavior. The child is growing. When you go to office new, you learn things. Has it ever happened that you join new work and somebody tells you the second day, oh, you are so bad, you are misbehaving, get lost? No? Everybody gives you a very long rope to learn. It's only when it comes to our children, we have this much rope. That is because my agenda comes into picture. And what is my agenda? I need to start for work at 7. I need to drop my child at 8. I need to reach office at 9. I need to get back at 5. I need to go to the mall at 7 or whatever. That's your agenda. That's not a 16-month-old's agenda. So why should he do what you want to do only because he got born in your home? That is his fault? That my agenda must be taken care of, let whatever it is with this agenda that can go to hell. Of course he will throw tantrum, no? Why will he not throw a tantrum? You go to office, okay? You sit there. You're given this corner office with all the 4 glass walls and nice view and fresh fruits and the flowers and the works, but no work. Yeah, wow, such a good thing. You can do it for one day. You go there, every half an hour you'll be served tea, everything, okay? But no work. You can do it for 1 month. Can you do it for rest of your life? Why not? Why not? Huh? Your mind will be rusted. No, how does it feel? So whatever I'm going to ask. Wasting my time totally, no? What am I doing with my thing? Lack of self-worth is exactly my point. Now when we do jobs for our kids, they start, we make them live in this glass house where everything gets done for them. And suddenly when they come to class 9, they can't study, they can't do homeworks, because all this while his tea was served to him every half an hour, no? Now that's his life. If you started work at 20 with this kind of life, would you not think that this is how everybody else lives and everybody else works? Why would you want to work thereafter? Why is it true for us as adults and not true for our kids? Should it be true for our kids? Should it be? Yeah. And we are adults. We have fully functional brain. And these kids are learning. What are we teaching them? This is what we're teaching them. And then I only go and complain, my child does not do their homework on their own. They can't get ready even when they are in class 5. I have to make them ready and put them onto the school bus. Of course you have to put them on school bus, because when he was wanting to get ready when he was in class 1, I was in a hurry to get him dressed and put him onto the school bus so that I could leave. Look at parenting as an 18 years project. It is not that today's school bus has to be caught. No. Today's school bus may not be caught, but your child will be ready to catch the bus every single time thereafter. Why? Because he's learned to dress. He will take time. His functions are limited. He will take time to do it. But help them. Build up routines. Help them. Coach them. Right? The other thing that we want to talk about is the feelings and forever. The feeling and emotions will remain on top of the priority for human race. If you came here today and you did not feel like I understood you, or you did not feel like I understood what you were going through, would you ever come back? Never. Why? Because you felt that I have no clue what I'm talking about. But if I spoke for 7 minutes and you thought, yeah, probably she knows something, you would probably ask me again. Your connection, your emotions, and your feelings are topmost priority. If we don't do that, the children get disconnected. When they get disconnected, then they throw tantrums. And you can stop the tantrum when it's just about happening. It's a regular evening. Give me an example whenever your child generally throws a tantrum. No brush, that is the time he wants to throw a tantrum. Okay. No, no. When does it happen? How does it?
Morning if he has not slept properly.
Slept properly.
Very random thing.
What in it? Yeah, correct. So if you observe your routine, you will precisely know when that trigger is happening. The first is the normal life, okay? The normal life is going, today my child has not slept well. And if the child has not slept well, I know tantrum will come. Now is the time to get prepared. One volunteer? Anybody who can throw a tantrum like their child. Yeah, come throw as much. So it is the normal whining tantrum, okay?
Whining isn't, if she needs something, she like, this is what she does.
Totally. So I'm saying today is the normal day and the tantrum is just about started. You know that she's not slept well. Okay, I'll come to that one a little later. So I'm just saying this is the stages. We'll just cover the stages and then we will come to specifics. So she's not slept well, tantrum is about to come, and that is the time you tell them, wear your shoes which she does not want to wear. Okay? And that is when she starts, okay. This is the time to take. How much time do you spend when your child has a tantrum, throws a tantrum? Next at least 5 to 7 minutes trying to pacify them. Okay. If you take time now, 5 minutes, you will save another 55 minutes. Okay? So this is the time when you tell your child. So why is this happening? Because your child has broken her connection with you. That is the attention problem. Everybody, when we were younger and our kids were growing up, we were told your child has an attention problem. They are attention seeking. Show me one person who is not attention seeking. Who wants to be fly on the wall, no? If I make good food, which of course I never make, but of course, supposing I made good food, I would want to paint the town red, right? That I made good food, please come look. Is that not an attention problem? But that is okay, because I'm an adult. And my child is not okay because that is attention problem. So this is the time that you want to tell your child, so you want that? This is called say what you see. So you want that book? Do you want that book? Your tone makes all the difference in the world. Who believes and does, okay, anybody who does not agree with me when I say the tone makes all the difference in the world? I could say the same thing empathically, I could say it kindly, and I could also say it in a taunting manner. So you want that book? Oh, you want that book? When you are trying to teach a lesson, your tone will be, so you want that book, okay. And when you are being kind, you would say, oh, you wanted that book, and you really wanted that book, but you can't have like that book. Mama, I want to have that book, bam, whatever, okay. Now is the time to continuously stay close to your child. You may not understand the physical touch that you have. That's a connection with your child. You will never understand what that is. You hold hands. There are certain people who hold hands. Why is holding hands such an important gesture? I'm not saying anything, but we're just holding hands. We are holding hands. This physical touch has a lot of, so you can feel how I'm holding your hand?
Yes.
Yeah? We can hold hands like this, and we can hold hands like this. Listen, kind of, yeah. So you can understand the difference between those. That is the connection you want to create with your child just now. You want that book? Okay, you wanted that book? Can you say it in the nice voice? Yeah? and carry on. So this is the time, can I give you a book? That is the time to create distraction. It's not a problem. You just want to create a distraction. So do you want to read other book? Can we get another book? Do you know what happened in that book? The wolf said, and of course the pig was very scared. And then you know what happened. No. Okay, come. Let's see. And I'm telling you, it works. But you need to connect at that point. Sometimes it will work. Sometimes it won't work. Of course, we are not robots by God's grace. We are humans, so our brains work. Some days, the child has gone too further down the lane, and the child is going to have a massive deregulation zone phase. So that is called a massive tantrum. Okay, now you throw a massive tantrum because?
Okay, so most of them, after the shouting part, she's like,
No, start with the shouting and then we will go.
she used
Yes.
like,
Yeah, you continue and I will continue.
yes. No,
Oh,
no,
you-
no, I want.
Oh,
No,
what do you
no.
want? What do you want? What do you want? Use your words. Use your words. What do you-
Obviously, I'm not able to express it because she's too small, but
Yeah.
She-
Okay, so you
we
just say.
know.
Yeah, okay.
I
So
need
continue.
that pen.
Okay.
I need that pen.
No, you continue to do what she does. She is how old? 16 months. Okay, you do what she does. Okay. Okay, you want that? Do you want that? You want that?
Yes.
Okay, do you see a fan? That is what is happening. You wanted? You wanted that? You wanted that? You wanted that? Oh, you want the blue one or the green one? Green one? You really want that? You
The
want
that?
that? Yeah, look
call
there.
other people.
Look there. Look there. Yeah, that is a good one. You want to look there? The. Yeah, that's a good one. Look at that one. That's a yellow and a blue. And you know, I did. Give me your hand. I will show you. Oh, look at that. No, fingers. Wow. Oh, see, I gave you a kissing hand. Do you want to do mine? Yeah? Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, so today she was just nice. The other day she's not going to be so nice. So what is going to happen next? And now is after that happens, now you don't take my hand and now it is that full-blown tantrum, okay?
कौन रुला रहा है बेटे को?
Yeah, that.
And things are easy.
Yes. So all of you who stay in joint families, meet me afterwards. Yeah, okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So I'll tell you once that happened with, now that she is little younger. Anybody who has a 6-year, 7-year-old? 3. So we are done with the trigger. The normal phase happens, then the trigger happens when the initial phase of tantrum starts, when she wants to do that is the initial phase. Now we will come to the full-flown deregulation space, okay? Now I tried distracting you, but you did not get distracted.
No, baby. No, baby.
Yeah, what happened? What happened? Oh, what happened? Oh, you're so angry. You're so upset. You're upset. You're upset. You're upset. Okay. You're upset. Oh, what happened? Do you want to talk about it? No, you don't want to. Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? Which one? No, we can't have the blue. No,
I want
Yes. Yeah. Oh, right. Oh, no, we can't have. We can't have the blue one. You can have the green one, but not the blue. No. We can't have the blue one. No, we can't have the blue one. No. Okay, I'm right here. Yeah. Yeah. No. You can't hurt the property. You can't hurt the property. No. You can't hurt the property. No, you can't hurt yourself. You can't hurt yourself. You can't hurt the property. No. Oh, you're so sad. You're so mad. What? No. You're so sad. No. Which? No. Don't hurt the property. No. Don't do that. Yeah, what is it? You were so sad. You're very sad.
want that.
Yeah, you wish you had the blue. You wish you had the blue one. You really want the blue one. You really want the blue one. The blue one. You wish you had the blue one. You wish you had the blue one, right? You really want the blue one.
I want the blue one.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want anything with the blue one.
No, we can't have the blue one. We can't have the blue. We can't have the blue one. But you wish you had the blue one.
Mimi, I made susu.
So you made susu. Oh, so you want me to clean? You want me to clean up? Let's go.
Mimi.
No? Okay.
Sorry, Mimi.
Let's go to the washroom. Can we clean up?
Mimi, okay, Mimi.
Yeah. Are you sad? Can we go to the washroom? Yeah. Come.
But I still want the blue one.
Yeah, no, but we can't have the blue one. And if you have set a limit, thank you so much, Jenny, that was awesome. If you said you can't have a blue one, never can she have a blue one. Just because I'm throwing a loud tantrum does not mean that you can have a blue one. If you said you can't have, you can't have. Right?
What if they get aggressive in terms of hitting, fighting?
Yeah, so do that.
If I were to act, I would have bitten you.
Yeah.
My child does that. First
Yeah.
he does his bites.
Okay. So what I'm saying, just ask me after we finish with the fifth stage, okay? This deregulation state is the time when their prefrontal cortex has got no connection with their amygdala has no connection with the prefrontal cortex. Now you say whatever you want to say. Nothing is going to be registered. It is a fight-flight mode. It is only survival mode. It is the only thing you can do is to take deep breath and let the child go through that tunnel of feelings. There is no shortcut to this. If I want, sometimes we need to cry to take it out. Don't we want to cry sometimes? We have just too many things happening in our bodies that we want to get rid of. And all happens when we cry. Do we not feel comfortable? Yeah? We all feel like we have let it out. Same is for children. Their life is more difficult. They've had to do this blocks thing throughout the day. How frustrating. Nothing is happening. And that is the time they need to let them cry. There is nothing wrong with it. 3 things you cannot do. You can't hurt yourself, you can't hurt property, and you can't hurt others. If the child does that, you have to hold them. You are their safe place in the world, no? You are the only people in the entire world that the child has put all their emotions, all their confidence in these 2 people. Come what may, these are the people who are going to save me. So we have to make sure that they are safe. Make them safe, keep them safe. If they are hurting something, just hold on to them. Now the biting part. This will come once the tantrum is over and you've had, everybody has gone about the normal life. That will be after about, small kids about an hour, bigger kids 5 to 6 hours. Okay? After 5 to 6 hours, in Forge we had something called Debrief. I don't know what you guys call it. After you've messed up and everybody gets together in the meeting and you get to thrash it out. So now is the time to sit down and say, okay, see, when you were crying that time, you bit me, and that hurt. I don't want you to bite me next time. You must read books. Hands are for hitting, hands are not for hitting, is the book that you do. So read these kind of books with them over a period of time. Remember, the time span that you're expecting is long. Sometimes kids need up to 400 repetitions of the same thing. So when you say don't bite, you might have to say it 400 times before they actually get it. Some get it in 3, some get it in 30, some get it in 300, some get it in 400. That is who I am that is why they say your child is unique. This is how each one of us is unique. I may not, if I don't get the biting part in 399 times and I get it only 400, but 2 plus 2 in first time. So these combinations is what makes our child unique, right? Once you've gone through the whole deregulation zone, now is the time where we are coming down, where the little child, never ever leave your child alone when they are in this deregulation state. You are an adult. If you were ever in a situation that was very demanding and you were very scared, and what if your best friend, husband, somebody just left you at that time, okay, deal with it, and went away? How would that feel? You're
Encouraging them, like again, attention seeking. Every time they start the tantrum and give the attention to it. Isn't like we let them be for like few minutes, maybe not paying attention, it may discourage them.
How will that help?
We discourage them, like she's anyway not.
Why is she having that tantrum in the first place?
To seek attention, to get heard.
So why is it wrong?
That's another.
Yeah, why is it wrong? See, we must understand, as a human being, to me you did not exist. How would that make you feel?
Well, it's because of that behavior we are not paying attention to her. I mean, otherwise we are.
Yeah, but when I say prefrontal cortex, what I mean is, when you say because of that behavior we are not paying attention, that is because now the child is trying to experiment. There are two ways to a child. To punish them, you might get the job done. I must clean up. You want children who are intrinsically motivated to clean up just because, oh my God, oh my room is not looking good, let me clean it. You don't want children, oh my God, my mom is going to yell, might as well clean. It's good till 5, it's good till whatever little the child understands, whatever little. The child understands 3 words, just say don't bite, hurts. Child is 6 years old, tell them, I do not like to be bitten, please don't bite me again. You are creating respectful boundaries. When you create respectful boundaries, you're teaching your kids that you can be firm yet be kind. You can be respectful yet be firm. That's what we want to teach our kids. We don't want to teach our kids that it is either this or that. We want to teach them the balance that is going to happen, right? And that is the deregulation and the calming zone. And the circle back, I will always, whatever happens that you don't like in your child, you keep your mouth shut. Okay, did I ever tell you that the children will only listen for 20 words? Thereafter, whatever ram kahani that you do, nothing is making sense. All that gyan, that Ganga that you want to flow is all going past. After count 20 words, and say only that much. The more you keep quiet, better it is for your child. This mouth must, don't talk like me. I've been talking for last 1.5 hours, but talk less. That person, God has made a new person. That person has their own grand vision about themselves. You and I are nobody. We could never imagine what this child is capable of doing. Because of my limited vision, I want to create that limited vision for that child. That's not on. How is it on? Allow them to. So if that has to happen, that means we need to keep our mouth 20 words. Don't use your words as garbage. Use them as gold. We use gold little. Whatever we use little, if there is a garbage, there are tons. Speak little. Have lots of fun with them. They need to see this person who laughs. They need to see this person who's excited. They don't need to see this person who's forever checking out, oh, this is done, that is done, okay, next. Don't want that. So now, how do we achieve that as working parents? I'm sure all of you have the working hours like I had. So our flying would start early in the morning, so I would probably leave at 4 and come back afternoon sometime and leave and come back, and then night flying, come back after 11, 12, 1, whatever. We had very little time. My husband and I, okay, just so that you know, my husband is a far better parent than I ever will be. Okay, so he is awesome. So my husband and I would find time. Your child just needs 30 minutes a day from you, not more. But that 30 minutes has to be his. How do you do that 30 minutes? One volunteer? It's your child and you, and it is 30 minutes. This is a person who did not come to your house. You invited this person. Just because. So now that the person has happened, now take the responsibility. Okay? Now this person, the person now is asking for 30 minutes of your time in a day out of 24 hours. If I could do it, being in Indian Air Force, I challenge anybody who tells me that I can't do it. You tell me your routine, I will find time for you. But you need to find that 30 minutes of time. When you and your child are in that 30 minutes, you have to continuously look into each other's eyes and say, what do you want to do? It's your choice. Your phone will be, your maid will not be boiling the milk, come whatsoever. You will not have guests coming over. You will not have a last-minute dentist appointment that you want to reschedule. Nothing for that 30 minutes. Do you go into meetings which are so important? This person is that meeting. That 30 minutes is his. Out of 24 hours, just give 30 minutes. Now, what do you want to do for 30 minutes?
I want to do coloring.
You want to do coloring? Come, let's do coloring. So we do coloring. We asked our child, what do you want to do? Let's jump on the sofa. I said, okay. Now that was the 4G sofa. If you jumped, you know what would happen. So we put the cushions down and, okay, let's jump on the cushions. Is that okay with you? Sure. We treat our kids like, you know, how many of you think that your children are smart? At least smarter than you. Oh yeah. Smarter than you? Why do you treat them like dumb people thereafter? just because, I really would love to hear that answer.
Lack of patience, I guess.
Lack of patience. Lack of ability to see the other person for who he is. Yeah? The 30 minutes time, if he says that I want you to be on your force and we are going to do ghoda ghoda, after 10 minutes tell, my knees are giving up, can I now come on you and you become ghoda and I become that? It is equal partnership. Only thing that the child does not have is experience. Only because of that one quality, that child is behind you. Okay, rest is the physical and whatever is happening, that is happening. But mentally, if you ask me, I have not met a parent who said at least, I'm talking about who are developmentally regular kids, okay, who are at least one version higher than us. And sometimes there are 10 and 20 versions. I'm not going to talk about it because our children talk like they come from Mars, okay? So we have absolutely no idea what they talk about. If they are so smart, then tell them, see, my knees are paining, can now you become a ghoda and I become this? The child will understand. Give them that due that their brain has, no? Yeah? Why not? Only because they're little? They're little, they're not dumb. They're just little. Right? 30 minutes, the child, no phone, no maid, no boiling the milk, no schedule, nothing, nothing, nothing. Only you and I. If within 7 days you do not see the decrease in the behavior, the misbehavior so-called, I will probably stop taking these workshops. 7 days. You will see at least the tiny bit of some sliver of silver lining. This is what is missing. Yeah. That 30 minutes, if the child wants, I want to do coloring, you do coloring. But if the child says, let's go watch TV, and in your house, the TV is a no TV rule. Like in our house, no TV rule, no matter what. So that is out of bounds. Whatever are no rules, that remain no rules even in 30 minutes time. Right? So if we say no TV, no TV, you cannot ask me TV. Now, just because this is your and my time, you cannot ask me for 10 cups of ice cream. That's not going to happen. Yeah? So it is you, that is why you are a parent. You know where to set that limit and say, okay, this is right, this is not right. Yeah, thank you so much. So,
If you have two kids, then the
separate, yeah. Each child, see in our brains, there are two, I'm just giving you crude way of thinking, there are two buckets, okay. One is attention and one is power. The more you fill them consciously, the less behavior you will have where they are attracting your attention, your answer. You give them attention consciously.
So with each parent, 30 minutes or together, which is?
Ideally, it should be 1:1. You know, if you both can find time to spend, perfect, nothing like it. You're only building that connection. You're looking at building connections. You're not looking at, you know, ABCD likh diya hai ki nahi. That's a smaller stuff. I'm telling you, from my experience, 10 years down the line, you will look back and say, oh my God, why did I even bother? If your kids are neurobiologically regular kids, you will not even think about it. What you definitely need is connection. Our daughter went to hostel last year, and her friends were calling us up and saying, you know, Auntie, may I please have a conversation with you? Because I can't have this conversation with my parent. You don't want that. When your child, yeah.
So when you say these 30 minutes, these are not related to any work, anything. It's just.
It's not your agenda. It's not like, oh, 30 minutes अब मुर्गा हाथ में आया ABCD सब सिखा दे.
A follow-up question. In that 30 minutes, if she says she wants to play with her friend, then I don't have a
wants to
role
go to
playing.
the park or wants to cycle or wants to.
So you be with her. See, initially you will find some kids clamp down. They have no idea what to do with this person who's sitting next to me for 30 minutes because they've never had this experience. Make yourself available so that after 15 days, 1 month, if your child is 10 years or older, it is going to take time because this is a new experience. Why I'm saying this is you want your child to call and tell you that I am in a trouble and I need your advice. You don't want your child to call Navdeep auntie and tell her, auntie, may I have a conversation with you? And when will that happen? If their experience of having a conversation with you has been respectful. They may be 100% wrong. You know this blue block is not on. But the way you convey. So any of you who did that no lying workshop, you would know with me. The way you convey is what matters. Yeah? Your tone matters. Your attitude matters. Your agenda matters. What matters most? In your brain, especially, we have something called medulla, okay? Have you ever heard of things like, such and such person's vibes are not good? I don't feel comfortable. What is happening? Scientifically, your nervous system is communicating with my nervous system. My nervous system fills with mirror neurons in that medulla. I understand what exactly you are feeling. I may not be able to put finger on it, but I know exactly that I'm not feeling good. That feeling is always there. When your child is having a tantrum and you are having your own private tantrum because of that, where is the safe place for the little boy to go to? Your mirror in his brain, he is mirroring your emotions, which you have no idea about. If you are uncomfortable, he understands my child. This person that I have all the faith in the world is uncomfortable, is unsafe herself. Now what do I do? Are you getting my point? I'm trying to make a point. Yeah? So if you can take a deep breath and say, it's just a tantrum. It will be over in 2 hours, 30 minutes, 5 minutes. And deep breath, your emotional state is now stable. Your child's brain will fill with mirror neurons and will become stable. Have you ever seen that when, if you are the head of the family and you are uncomfortable, what happens to the rest of the people? Everyone is uncomfortable. And if that person, for some reason, feels unsafe, what will others feel? And we are adults. What about that little person?
So what is the role of the other parent at such situations?
When?
So if she is having a rough time with her, so normally what happens is she will come running for me. Okay, she's having a tantrum with me, then she will get angry with me and goes to her.
Actually, this happens
Most, yes.
She usually gets, even if she is angry, like she's not happy with me, she throws tantrum at him, but behaves well with me.
So these are two separate questions.
Okay, so I'll take first one. If your child is, if you've scolded the child and the child goes to the third person, the rule in the family, my mother-in-law said this, right when our daughter was born. She says, if somebody said no for something, yes will come only and only from that person. Nobody else in the entire family can say yes to TV when you have said no.
I think entire family
Yeah. That's why we said, please come, right?
So no good cop and bad cop.
There is no good cop and bad cop. You're just trying to manipulate a person who is way smarter than you are, and he knows exactly how to manipulate both of you. Believe me. Believe me. Have you not have had that ever?
We have experience. I mean, he wants to go out, and if she doesn't take an emphatic, he says, Tata. I got my.
Yeah, I have gotten whatever I wanted. We would go for a party where the kids are not allowed, and these kids knew exactly when we are stepping out and it is 7:25 and you have to be there at 7:29. They knew exactly when to come and ask, may we have Maggie? And that is it. And if you are not conscious, you would say, okay, whatever, let's get it done. And after 3-4 tries, and they said, when can we ask when you can say yes? So we said, okay, we will have Maggie and so day in a week, and that is the limit. We need to live consciously, is what I'm saying. Every decision that you make must be well thought of. We can always ask. So as your kids are growing, you will have weird questions which you've never heard in your life. So what are we going to say? We're going to say, I have never thought about this. Can you please give me some time? I'm going to think about it and let you know. Most of the times our kids, you will hear from them. You call my mom, she will say, okay, I will discuss with your father and let you know. You call your father and he'll say, okay, I'll discuss with your mother and let you know. He says, our house is very sad. So that is how it is. So they must understand that these two people will always have same voice. And believe me, the moment it is 7:29 and you're stepping, they know exactly now is the time to ask for Maggie. Because it is evolution, no? We are smarter than our parents, they are smarter than us. So that's how it is. Yeah, what was the second part of your question?
So between both of us, what happens usually, my daughter, even she is angry with me, but she misbehaves with him, and she never throws a tantrum at me, even if she wants something from me and I'm saying, but
Yes.
she will be angry and misbehaving myself as well.
Yeah, so you need to set limits. If my child is misbehaving with me for no rhyme and reason, you continuously say, no, you cannot have the blue block. No, you cannot have the blue block. I understand you're sad. You cannot have the blue block. And it is going to take a lot of deep breathing because we get anxious, especially mothers. What happens in mothers is the same as medulla fills with lots of mirror neurons, and with our brain, the female brain, the medulla is of a bigger size than the male brain. And sometimes it's just that fills up with so much mirror neurons that we don't like that feeling. You remember that when our child is uncomfortable, we are more uncomfortable as compared to our husbands, who can take it, because my husband's way of looking, because when I say husband, I see the father's way of looking at it is that I need to train my child to earn a living. And the mother's way of bringing up a child is to be able to show empathy. That is why God wanted a father and a mother together. That is why both of you are required for that person. It is not like one person can do whatever the other person can do. You must continuously say, this is not right. Set the limit. Say that, okay, you cannot have a blue block. I'm so sorry, you're feeling so sad. Teach them emotional intelligence. Teach them you're sad, you're happy, you're angry. Give them the words to say it. Even in our relationships, if we say, okay, I'm very frustrated today with what you did, that is more respectful way of communicating rather than banging doors. Yeah? We want our kids to to have that communication, to have that vocabulary to be able to convey things. Yeah. Rashmi, do we have more questions? Yeah, go ahead.
So my child is 15 months old, and both of them are working. He's with the maid and my mother. He keeps biting people. So that's when we realize at the end of the day. Obviously, at the end of the day, we explain him like, okay, Ansh, no biting, biting is not good. But since we are away from him, we're still not able to understand the reason why he's doing that and what really triggers him to do that. Like during the day when we are out.
Yeah.
How do we really deal with the situation when we cannot virtually see it, we just keep hearing it?
Yeah, so in this case, if you throughout the day you're not there, that means the primary caregiver is your mother. So you are secondary caregiver at this point in time when you're out. Whoever is the primary caregiver must teach the child not to bite. So she has to say every time he bites, no, don't bite, don't bite. 400 times it might take. So she has to, if she's the primary caregiver, she's the person who needs to teach. You cannot teach, because when the children are so small, they may have forgotten what happened. And it's not like, it's also the experience that if I bite, I told you about how they are scientists, there must be something happening that motivates them to do it time and again. Something, either when he bites, somebody yells or somebody does some kind of whatever it is and he is enjoying that. Or sometimes when kids have, they are teething, they have just too many problems with the gum. So they're kind of wanting to bite. So you can give them finger foods like carrot, and you can bite this. Don't bite me, bite this. Give them alternatives. Every time he opens his mouth to bite, give them carrot. You bite this, don't bite me. And so we are only curious about things which are misbehaviors. Biting initially is not a misbehavior. It is developmentally appropriate. Thereafter, it becomes misbehavior when it is mishandled. Then it becomes misbehavior.
But how can biting be people selective? So he does not do that to us, my mother, but he would do it to the maid, he would do it to his age kids. Does that have an impact?
Yeah, then I'll tell you the book that you need to read to him. It's a small children's book, and that we need to talk about it. Just remind me, I need to send you that book. Just read the question.
We don't have mic, so they won't know what question it is. We don't have mic and other mic, so they won't know what question.
Okay.
So do you want it on phone or do you want
No, it's okay. At what age tantrums begin? My daughter is 3.5. Yeah, so we spoke about this. So when you say what age the tantrums begin, the tantrums can begin any time from, no, I'm just good. Yeah, I will be able to do it. Yeah, I can read. So that, see, we are not machines. It's not like I cannot tell you that, after 3.5 inches there will be a cut. That's not how the humans work. But yes, tantrums can happen any time that the child feels that my power over my body is being taken away, or nobody understands. See, when you're changing your child's diaper, the power struggle starts at 6 months. Tantrums start way ahead of that. So from 6 months, expect to have as much power struggle with your child. If you're not giving them enough authority to live their own life, and you do not give them enough responsibility. Yeah, so we discussed what can be done right from this age. If you do that 30 minutes of time with them, they will not have the attention tantrums. And of course, when they have, we spoke about how the basic needs have to be met. Is 20-month-old crazy about mobile, but whatever when he sees his dada's phone, listens ring, then he gets crazy and he himself. Okay, so how is a cell phone made? Anybody, all of you who work in the technology or cell phone field, it is made in a manner so that it releases dopamine in your brain. That is why screens have become such a difficult problem. The screens have now been related to having drugs and to do nicotine and alcohol and screens. They're all in the same bracket because of the dopamine that gets released because of screens. So if this child is looking at mobile and is crazy about it, that means he's had enough interactions with mobile. Okay, this is a very specific question. Please speak to me after the, does anyone else have this mobile? It's a very big topic. We can do the screens one more time sometime later because it's almost 3 hours workshop. My 17-month-old wants me to pick her up all the time. Okay. So this person wants to know that she wants me to pick her up all the time. This is attention. Give her that 30 minutes attention, you will not have this problem again. Hopefully, yeah? I'm somehow so very confident of 30 minutes special time. It's not like I have made it, but that the number of people who have tried this special time and the kind of feedback that has come has been exceptional. So please do that 30 minutes. How to calm oneself when kids are throwing tantrums? Deep breath. It's going to last 2 hours. Flight is delayed. I am going to take 2 hours sitting on this chair. Deep breath. What mantra should you tell in your mind? My child is not giving me hard time. My child is having a hard time. When your child is throwing a tantrum, tell yourself over and over and over again. Right? How to find balance between belief system of parents and grandparents, especially when it comes to upbringing of child? Yes. Most of the, your question. So most of the joint families will have this problem, okay? If you look back about 100 years ago, what did the child see in the house? What did the child see in the house, in the environment about 100 years ago? There were many people. What were the social status of husband and wife? The wife is at home. So, and thereafter, who was head of the family? Father. Father's was the last word. If anybody said anything, the mother also was obedient to father? That was one scenario. Now look at present day. Both are equal. How many people are there in the house to talk to? There are no peers, there are no cousins and dadi and nani and the works. People tell me, when I was 18 years old, I could do this, my child is not able to do it. That is because when you were 18 years old, you saw people doing it. Where did my child see me washing the bartan? That is why she does not do it. We are the role models in our child's life. This is what I mean by being a role model. The child has to see you doing certain things for them to understand that this is what I need to do. Your maid is doing dishes, has got no problem in his life. He is not bothered. Are you bothered when the maid is doing dishes? Are you bothered? My mom is sitting and watching TV. That means when you come back home from work, you watch TV. He is not looking at that the maid is doing dishes. Something is happening. So don't tell me that my child is not doing something that I used to be able to do when I was 18. Look back, if you were a role model, if they had seen you doing, take it from me, they would be doing it themselves.
So what if you are doing the dishes and your kids insist that they want to do it?
They also want to do it, Yes. Yes, yes, give them. Give them. That is a nice skill to have.
The grandparents don't want the kids to do these things. That's the problem.
The grandparents, so now when we're talking about two parallel belief systems of raising kids. And who are the people involved? All are adults. What is the best way of negotiating with adults? Talking. So what worked we did one workshop with grandparents wherein I told them that this is what I'm teaching your kids to how to raise their kids, and I asked them, is there a problem? So they said they had their own belief system. So we thrashed it out, and finally one thing that works is, give me 10 days, let me do it like this. If it does not work, then we go back to your system. Will that work? You have to have a communication. I mean, if I come from Indian Air Force, how much ever you try and tell me, I have no clue what it looks like to go into rush, whatever it is, your workplace. You might tell me, I might understand, but I will not be, somehow I have no idea what it feels like to be in that place. Or if I told you, there are 6 aircraft in the pattern and I have to talk down, I'm doing PR with one, I'm telling, okay, at OCA, check, confirm your visual negative, okay, go around, climb to 3,000 feet. You have no clue what I'm talking about. Right? Similarly with your in-laws. They have no clue what you're talking about. So you are talking, climb to 3,000 feet, change over to radar, and thereafter there is traffic here, there's traffic. And they are talking, Balgadi wala. So we have to find a common ground. And if the wife does, most of the places the wife does not have a very open relationship with her in-laws, it becomes father's job to do it. So you as husband and wife are a team. If you want to do it with your in-laws, then you let your husband convey, because they have been in the same environment. He knows exactly how it works. However, if you have a very good relationship, you can also talk about it and say, please give me 10 days. Allow me to put this strategy into practice. Give me 10 days. If it does not work, then we will go back to your way of doing it. I don't see any other way of doing it with in-laws, because they are themselves adults, and convincing them will not happen because they have not seen this life. If I told you, that having a low gravy on short finals with less visibility, it is a bad, bad, bad combination. Did you understand anything? That is what is happening. We are all speaking on different channels. We need to find a common ground. We need to speak a language that all 4 of us can understand. Yeah? How to engage and communicate with child effectively when they're stubborn and wants to watch only cartoons, especially days that are stressful for us. Okay, so communicate to child effectively is not when it is when the time is to switch on the cartoons. You have to plan in the night before that tomorrow at 4 o'clock there is going to be no TV. You have to put limits. You must put limits, which if it is a no blue block, it remains no blue block forever, till of course things change and the child now becomes 8 months, 2 years old, then you can say, okay, now you are 8 months old, now you can have blue block. But that cannot happen when the child is having a tantrum. That has to happen when everybody is calm. So when the child is in flight or fight mode, don't talk. That's not the time to talk. The time to talk is when everybody is calm, right? How to manage the demand for chocolates in front of others like market. Okay, here is my earnest request to all of you. 30 seconds. If you see some child throwing a major tantrum in the mall, look at them and say, good show. Because there is something that the parent has said no to because for what the child wants. Let's create that movement. Let's not let the other person feel, oh my God, my child is throwing a tantrum in the middle of public and now, I am the person to be blamed. No, why am I the person to be blamed? It's my child who's having a problem. It's not like I have told him to go and throw a tantrum. It does not reflect on my parenting. Let's not have that judgmental way. So every time I request all of you, when you see a person dealing with a tantruming child, just say, awesome job, you're doing good job. Let me know if I can help. Every time I'm in the mall and if I see, do you need water? Can I get something for you? Because this is hard time. And the mothers have a very difficult time because the mirror neurons, you are dying inside when your child is crying. But then you are the parent, it's your responsibility to be calm. That is why you are at least 20, 25 years elder to your, right? If there is anything that you think is not answered properly, you can ask me again. How to help if the child gets too excited and starts hitting for everything. Okay, so the child, when the child is hitting everybody, okay, it's just excited, right? That somehow he's figured out that that's the way to be excited. Sometimes kids are happy and they hit. It's like over a period of time, they realize that when they're happy, they have to hit. It's like I figured out if I am stressed, I need to have coffee. It's simple. So you tell them, when you're excited, you say, yay! You don't hit. Teach them, they will know. It's simple. It's not complicated. My son, my 2.5-year-old often pinches and at times bites when excited and angry. Okay. If you need to divert your child's attention, please do it. It's a very effective tool. It's not like you are teaching your child not to be regulated. The child is little. Their prefrontal cortex is not yet developed. They find it difficult to regulate their behavior. When they are 25 years old, 30 years old, like when your child is having a tantrum and you are having, okay, how many of you are having your own mommy tantrum, papa tantrum when the child is tantruming? All of us. All of us. So it's not a problem. So it's just how it is. Yeah? So when your child is pinching or bites, you just have to coach your kids. That's what I said. Anytime you don't like a behavior in your child, when the child is calm, teach them that this is not the way to behave. When the child is calm, when the child is in good mood, that is the time to tell them this is not to be done. And ज्ञान की गंगा नहीं चाहिए, सिर्फ 20 words. My 6-year-old, he's never interested in schoolwork, never wants to attend school. Homework is a nightmare. Yes, he's not had a responsibility. He's already 6 years old. If he's never had a responsibility, it is going to show up in the schoolwork. Why will the schoolwork be any different than caring for their toys, than caring for their books, caring for everything? You cannot isolate the child's life. That, okay, I will give you a super easy lifestyle at home, and when it comes to school, you will have a difficult lifestyle. He does not understand. Why will he understand? So don't give so dramatically opposite environments that he does not know where to go. He has not had a responsibility, and that is why he is not interested. Please give him responsibility. My 2 children are disciplined and keeping their things at their place. We are very clumsy, and I keep telling them, but they behave as if they are deaf. My elder one says, okay, coach your children if they have not picked up their toys. Tell them how to pick up their toys. First day, do it with them. First day, show them how it is done. Second day, do it with them. Third day, stand there and let them do. 7th, 8th day, they will do it themselves. I am talking about 7 years and above. Little kids, you need to do this every single day, and slowly, slowly they will learn on their own. Okay? He wants TV for every meal. Okay. A few years ago, somebody came to our place and they asked my husband, you know, my child only drinks Coke. What was my husband's question? My husband asked them, how much does he earn? He said, no, he's only 16 months old. He does not earn.
16 months?
Yeah, whatever. I think 16 months or 36 months, some kind of. So he only drinks Coke. And he said, how much does he earn? He says he does not earn. He said, if he does not earn, where did the Coke come from? So if they want TV with every meal, do you want me to now clarify, or you've understood? Okay, so TVs also, if I come around next time, the screen times need management. The screen, it's difficult because screens have been devised in a manner to create that happy feeling in yourself. And we need to, if the family is eating in front of the TV, there is no way the child is not going to eat in front of the TV. And if you made TV a part of his life when he was younger, because only when he was watching TV he would open his mouth. So now is the time to wean that person off the TV and now start giving them food otherwise. How to deal with child being bullied in the school? Oh, okay. So you speak to me later, I will tell you. But bullying, anybody else has that? It's a little longish conversation, so I don't want to waste time just now. My baby will soon start feeding on solids. My plan was to give her food and try and bit and stop if she has eaten a little and reject. It could start of tantrums. No, I have not understood this question. Just read it and tell me what do they want to know. Question number 21. Yeah, I think I am, this is the last one. Is there any question?
My son, he doesn't like to drink milk actually. So how do you make him?
Why do you want him to drink milk?
Well, everybody says like, conventionally, typically you want your child to have.
Does he have
so that
curd?
He's not have like empty stomach while he's going to bed probably. He won't wake up in the middle of the night. So probably milk is the best way to,
See, one thing I definitely understand is animal milk. It's not like if it was a breast milk, the answer would be totally different. We're talking about animal milk now. Why have we given so much importance to animal milk? Because at one point, we had abundance of animal milk at our places. Although now we have reached Mumbai, but we are still having the same conversations as though we live on the farm. We don't live on the farm anymore. We do not have the abundance of animal milk in our lives. So if he does not want to drink milk, just give him curd, give him paneer. You want to give him calcium.
He likes other forms of milk, but he doesn't like milk at all.
So why, are you convinced that it is?
We are not forcing him. If he doesn't want to,
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
Is that something that needs to be?
No, if he has curd and he has paneer, when we look at it, why is milk important? You get calcium. You get calcium from curd, you get calcium from, so it's sorted.
It's like easier source to give early in the morning or something. It's more, that's why it's a comfort, like, okay, just make milk and then
Again, it is our agenda compared to our child's agenda.
Now, one question. If my child is fussy from the first bite itself and refuses to eat, should I just stop feeding him then? Or what I try to do is, I try to feed him, but it's become a routine now.
Can you hold your breath and die? Try. We can try. Can we hold our breath and die? These are bodily functions. If I will be hungry, I will eat whatever it takes.
The doctor usually keeps telling he's underweight, you should feed him, but we are having a tough time.
Oh, he's an underweight child?
According to his age, he's underweight.
How much underweight?
He just says
Is he clinically underweight or it is like normal underweight?
he is not up to the mark. As per the chart, he's not up to the mark.
See, okay, again, the doctors might have different opinion. Listen, I had a pediatrician living next door, and she used to be telling me, you come one more time into my office with this problem of Risham is not eating, I will break your neck. I said, why? So she gave me this, I want all of you to do this. She told me, every single time your child eats, take a polythene, put equal amount of food in that polythene. Their child's stomach is this much. And we feed them like they're cows with 4 stomachs. We don't want that. So your child specifically is fussy about eating. You should look at 2 things. One, it could be sensory. There are certain kids who have unusual sensations. Then you need to see whether it is certain kinds of foods he is refusing or it is everything he is refusing.
Some kind of food, like healthy food he refuses. You give him chips and you give him any biscuit, like any biscuit, anything which is biscuit de do ya could be crunchy de do, he will eat. Fruits kha leta hai, but he doesn't eat like roti, sabzi, dal, chawal, that he doesn't like. He doesn't like the routine food that I give him. So that is a no.
That is because he has an option of eating crunchy food.
Makhana he can eat, but he cannot eat other things.
Yeah, speak to me. We need to do the picky eating some other time, we will have this full thing about.
She means that if the child is, she's just starting on solids and somebody has told her that if you don't force feed, this will be, your child will react to it. She will know that if I refuse, if I put my foot down, then my parents will listen.
Oh, okay.
Somebody has told her that.
So whoever has told you, I'm going to make Rashmi the big guinea pig here. How do you like if you are standing here and I open your mouth and how good does it feel?
Feels very bad, awful.
Yeah, but that is a child and I am an adult, so it works for me, doesn't work. The double standards, people. Let's not have double standards. How to reduce throwing of things. The child is throwing things in tantrums. So what I did with Jenny, anytime the child is hurting property, self, and others, you just make them safe. What is terrible 2s? Nothing called terrible 2s and 3s. It's just a developmental stage. There is something called developmentally appropriate expectations. Keep your expectations developmentally appropriate. Do we expect our children to do calculus in class 3? No, but we expect our children to sit nice and proper in one place for 30 minutes while eating. Whether the child is capable or not, just look at it, no? Certain things we've decided that they can't do calculus because I could not do calculus. But I know for sure that the child should sit because Rashmi's child sits. He always wants TV for food eating. We're done with that. How to break bad habits like watching all screen problems. We will do one other workshop because it's just. Yes, we do need. Yeah.
What to do if they are not eating for almost 1 hour and you are serving them different food?
Okay, you never you never short order your kids, okay? If you've made a meal and the child does not eat, that is their problem. That's not your problem. Your responsibility when it comes to eating, mothers or the parents' responsibility to give food on right time, at right place, and the right kind of food. The child's responsibility is whether or not to have the food and how much to have. Let's not mix our responsibilities. These are two very different responsibilities with very different people. That's where it stays. Okay, I think we are running out of time also now for webinar. How much time do we have? Are we left with? 2:49. We have 10 more minutes. Okay.
This one we didn't have.
My child is 14 months, wants to take evening nap, then sleeps late at night. Okay, so if your child is having a sleeping problem, then you can train them to sleep earlier. So one day just give them something to play with, something to do with, so that that nap time goes past, and then you can make them sleep in earlier.
This is a very great question. Can we be such parents that our child loves to have us?
Oh, of course. We are the parents that the children love us.
Say the word.
Okay, so the question is, can we be such parents that our children love to have us? Yes. Your children, what do they want? What your children want from you? Please be consistent. Please be respectful. They must know where you are. When they come to you with a question, they must understand it's not depending upon which side of the bed my mother got up from. If it is no blue block, it is going to be no blue block. If you do not react to your children and respond, there is a difference. You must have also heard of a phrase called do not talk at the children, talk to the children. So it's not like always barking orders. Have a conversation with them. When did you last have a conversation with your child like you converse with your husband or your mother-in-law or father-in-law? That is what you want. That is the kind of parent that the child wants. STEAM ones I can answer later.
This one is nice.
And activity hymns.
Will you read the question?
So the question is, my son wants to play and experiment with his toys or any activity himself and does not listen to my help. He does not need your help. Let him do it himself. And if he is not able to do or get a result, he breaks the toy, shouts why is it not working, and gets into crying and doesn't listen to what I have to say or help. Is this a tantrum? So this is a tantrum where the child is unable to get the result that the child is expecting to receive. So when you are just about starting, you continuously tell them, this is going to break, do you need my help? And once that the child has had a full-blown tantrum after they have failed, circle back and talk about it after 3 hours. This is what has happened. I offered my help and you did not take it and then it broke. Is there anything I can do so that this does not happen next time? If your child is 3 years old or older, you will be able to have this conversation with them. I think we are just about done. Is there any other questions? I think that's and we are also done for the time actually.
Yeah, we are done.
Everybody who came here, is there anything that you want to ask?
You were mentioning a book that we should read.
Yeah, after we finish off with this, is there any other question that, right? Screen workshop we will do some other time, and all of you who want.
You want to do it later?
They said how to start Steam at home. Okay, how do you start Steam at home? You're curious, you ask questions, okay, whoever's asked this question, please call me, I will be able to explain, because it's all, yeah? Whomever I have said, please call or contact me, please write a message, and with the question, because I just totally forget about things, I'm extremely sorry, yeah? Then I would, right? Thank you very much for being here, and I will be on the WhatsApp for next 2 days. Let me know if you have any questions, right? Thank you so very much. Thank you. Let me drink. One last thing, we must, Abhisha, can I have you here? This is the person who's been so nice that we are right here and doing this. This is Abhisha, she is the owner, and whereas Pooja has gone, and this is hi to Pooja and very thanks to Abhisha and Pooja. They have so gracefully actually volunteered to have all this kiosk here, and they said, okay, you're most welcome to do it, and whatever it is, you want to do Steam, you want to do whatever. Thank you so very much. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. Thanks. Switched off?